A couple recently submitted their documentation, their marriage certificate, with their green card to get it approved, and everything was in order except for the translation. It was missing a signature and it didn't include the official stamps, even though all the documentation, all the content inside the marriage certificate was translated correctly. Because of this, their application was delayed for months. Now, let's make sure that this event does not happen to you. If your marriage certificate is in a different language and you're going to need to submit it to an organization like the USCIS or possibly a court for where you're going to need a court certified translation, let's make sure that you get the right document that you need with the right certifications and signatures so that you don't have any delays in processing an already difficult process. Like going through any bureaucratic process, it's already a difficult and painful process, so let's not make it any harder than it has to be. Hi, I'm Jason Ellinger from TaikaTranslations. We've helped thousands of couples translate and certify their documents correctly so that whenever they go to submit their documents, everything goes smooth and the process goes quickly with their approvals if they're eligible to do so. Today, I'm going to walk you through what a correct translation actually looks like, what the most common mistakes are that you can avoid, and I'll show you exactly what a valid translation of the marriage certificate looks like. So, for example, let's take a look on the screen here. So this sample is a marriage certificate plus the certification for this document. Notice how all the names, the dates, and the signatures, they're all mirrored to reflect exactly how it looked in the source document as they are in the target document. Source just means the document that you have, or the original document, and then the document that you're trying to obtain is the target document. At the bottom, you'll see a signed certification page by the linguist or by our organization. This certification is sometimes, if not always, required by certain offices like the USCIS or the courts when you're processing your documentation through there. Some of the most common mistakes that you can avoid are these. I'm going to list them here below so that when you're working through your processing your documents, you don't miss them. Leaving out signatures, seals, or handwritten notes. These all, if they are in the original document, they have to be in the target document. They have to be in the document that you have, that you're presenting to the officer who's going to be processing your application. Oftentimes people just take and they get something translated by a friend, which they don't realize in the end, if that friend translated and signed that at the bottom of the page and it finds out that they're your friend or close relative, they're not going to accept such a translation in many cases. You don't want to take that risk. Another mistake that people have is that they are missing the certification or the translator details for the certification of the document. And that's something you don't want to do because, again, that just puts a wrench in the work and slows down the process or completely halts it until you get that corrected. And the last one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they change the format of the new document versus the old document. So when they have the new document, everything is not exactly mirrored piece by piece or section by section, and as the old document is. And when the reviewer goes through it, they can't even tell if it's the same as the original document. And because they can't tell if the original document is the same as that one, they might not even accept your document. They just have asked, and they could request you to have it redone simply because that document doesn't look the same as the source document. And that's a big one. A lot of people make that error, but try not to make sure that happens to you. So how can TaikaTranslations help? Besides providing you the information in this video, which I hope it's helped you already, we can provide the product ready for you to submit to the organization that you are required to submit it to. And we can provide you some advice and guidance on what is required for that specific organization, if it's in the United States of America or if it's in another country around the world. And if we don't have that information, we can talk with our team of linguists who are in the local country that you're probably going to, and we can make sure that we understand what is needed so that you have all the documentation required when you show up on scene. So how can you do it? You can go to www.TaikaTranslations.com and you can fill out the form and send us your files through there, or you can just open your email, take a snapshot of your certificates and send them to projects@TaikaTranslations.com, and we will begin the process of working through making sure that you have everything you need when you show up on the day of your appointment, whether it's with USCIS or the court or wherever else you may be processing your certificates. We will assign a vendor who is familiar with the USCIS process. We'll ensure the formatting and the layout of the documentation is perfect and accurate as it should be when you're submitting the documents to any of those offices. And you will receive a PDF document that's ready for submission that you can even email over or send over via secure transfer to whomever you're required to submit their document. This typically takes about 1 to 2 days to complete, and you're ready to go. So if your marriage certificate needs to be translated, don't leave it to chance. Send an email to TaikaTranslations.com at projects@TaikaTranslations.com, and we will start the process for you. If this video has been helpful to in any way, please like and subscribe. And if you know somebody who needs this service, please send this video to them so that we can help them out. Thank you so much. And at the end of this video, the reason there's balloons and chocolate, I want you to be celebrating your marriage with balloons and chocolate rather than having to go buy some chocolate to console yourself because your application was rejected.